Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Oh Brother Comics. Today, Nick, Matt, and I are going to be going over our 10 in 10 review video. That's a video where we choose 10 books that came out this last Wednesday, and we go ahead and we give you our thoughts on them. So, we try and get this done in under 10 minutes without any further time wasted. Let's get to the first book. For the first book on the list, we went with Chicken Devil #1. It's written by Brian Buccellato and artist by Hayden Sherman. This book was clunky, fast-paced, but very interesting. It's set up like a TV drama where a man essentially has everything. He's got the family, beautiful wife, he's got successful line of chicken restaurants, he's got good income, and then one day his life just goes to shit. His business partner makes some bad decision deals with the mob. Now they owe them $2 million. Well, while the man is trying to get his family out to safety so they can deal with the situation, the mob ends up killing his family. Now he's got nothing else to lose, and what's he gonna do next? I'm not really sure, but he's definitely gonna be doing some crazy stuff in this next issue. I rated this a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, so first up for me is Dirtbag Rapture #1 by Oni Press. This is written by Christopher Sabella and illustrated by Kendall Good. First off, this is definitely my pick of the week. Sabella knows how to write an amazing story. The main character, Kat, becomes like a ghost taxi service after she has her own near-death experience. There are rules about being a ghost, and she's able to kind of break some of those rules in order to transport ghosts to different parts of the world. So if you die in a car accident while on a trip, as long as you can provide her with payment via information she can use to blackmail relatives or people you knew, or other various methods she can use as payment to ferry you. So the art style is really good, and the twist at the end is just absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for the next issue to come out. Again, this is my pick of the week, and I rate this at a 4.5 out of 5.
All right, everyone. The next book that we will be talking about is We Have Demons #1. This was a special on Comixology. It is written by the great Scott Snyder and the artist, the great Greg Capullo. Together, these two as a team was really, really awesome. Like, this is why I picked this book, just for those names alone. And I also liked the idea of, the mythology, the religious element, the demons, and good and evil and things like that. It is a cool story of good versus evil, angels versus demons, but it's like angels and demons. It's like very in a very original way, which did make the story really cool. It wasn't like cliche, and I really did like it. I am very excited to see how this story progresses for sure. I give this issue like an assured 3.8. I have a feeling that as this story continues, it's only going to get better and better.
For the next book on the list, we have Dark Ages #2. It's written by Tom Taylor and artist by Ivan Coelho. This book is really good, and I am really enjoying it. We get a bit more groundwork set up in this story that kind of fills us in on what's been happening over the years since the Unmaker was shut down with the EMP signal. Basically, it lays out that most of the heroes and people that were fighting for territories during this whole Dark Ages kind of time have now begun to live in peace, and they have kind of like a utopia there. But because people are now in such a peaceful state, it has basically caused them to not really keep in touch with those who could break that apart. And in this issue, it is revealed that Apocalypse is doing just that. He's actually been working in his territory using Reed Richards and Riri Williams to help awaken the Unmaker for some reason. Why? We're not quite sure. I hope we find out in this next issue, which I'm pretty sure we will, and I am looking forward to it. This one was almost my pick of the week. I rated it a 4 out of 5.
Up next for me is Out #1 by AWA Upshot. This is written by Rob Williams and illustrated by Will Conrad. I think it definitely has some promise. The story takes place at a secret mountaintop Nazi fortress where unruly prisoners of war are sent after trying to escape from other prisoner camps. The Germans are also working on some secret rituals involving a priest, a scientist, and an ancient stone coffin that they made Czech prisoners dig up, and then they killed them all. The art is great, and the story so far is written very well. I rated this at a 3.5 out of 5. It's a solid story, so I will be picking up the next issue because it feels like one that you just kind of need to read all the issues at once. So I'll probably be picking up the next 4 issues as they come out and then come back to the story once I have them all.
All right, the next book that we will be talking about is Soul Plumber #1 by DC. The writers, there's a few of them. It's Marcus Parks, Henry Zabrowski, and Ben Kissel. And the artists are John McCrae and PJ Holden. Man, this story was an absolute trip. I love the style. I love the feel. It's very exaggerated. It's kind of wicked. It's very distorted. And I love that kind of psychedelic art style, because it puts a lot of like energy into the book and a lot of energy into the writing. And I love the plot and the dialogue, and it all just like meshes together like really, really well. So kind of like as I was saying about the last book is, this book is very heavily influenced by religious elements and mytho and things like that. I give this particular issue an unscrupulous 3.6. I think this run is going to be really over the top, but also really, really entertaining.
The next book on this list, we went with Nice House on the Lake #5. It's written by James Tynion and art is by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. This book was amazing and definitely my pick of the week. James Tynion just does an amazing job at portraying this story and just keeping you on the edge of your seat. It's just one thing after another, and this issue is the first issue where we really get the story to jump off and really push forward into the future of what's to come. The previous issues were great and they were great setup, but it was really kind of just the individual experiences of some of these members in this group, or the survivors, I should say. But this book now allows the group to start putting pieces together and really start to figure out what's going on. And by doing so, they have just rescued a new member of the group, Reg, the artist of the group, and he has basically told or revealed to them that they still have time to save the world, but they've got to act quickly. Guys, I'm loving this book. I'm looking forward to the next issue. Hopefully you guys are reading it. Again, my pick of the week, rated 4.5 out of 5.
Last up for me is Star Wars Adventures Ghosts of Vader's Castle Danger on Dagobah. This is by IDW, written by Kevin Scott and illustrated by Francesco Francavilla and Robert Hack. So this is just a fun story following Tom Hudd. He's a lieutenant with the rebellion. He's a thief turned rebel. And the story is just about him recapping a dream that he has been having about accompanying Luke to Dagobah and encountering a spirit that is warding off all who mean to do harm to Dagobah. I don't know how well young readers would do just jumping into this issue. You kind of need to read the past Star Wars Adventures comics in order to understand who Lieutenant Hudd is and why he's terrified of the dreams that he's having. Otherwise, the story just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I rated this issue at a 2.8 out of 5. I think it just needs a bit more context, even if it's just like a quick recap of who the characters are and what their current mission is at the very beginning of the issue.
All right, guys, the next issue we will be talking about is The Chimeran Beyond the Black River #1 by Ablaze. This story is written by Matthew Gayella, and it's adapted from the work of Robert E. Howard. This issue was absolutely dope. I love the characters, the main ones, the side ones, and all the supporting cast. I love Conan's demeanor in this story. He is very rigid and very resolute, but he also has a lot of character to him that brings a lot of personality that I really enjoyed as the reader. I give this issue an elated 4.2. This is my pick of the week.
And for the final book on this list, we went with The Me You Love in the Dark #3. It's written by Scotty Young and art is by George Corona. This book was a lot of fun. In it, we continue to watch Ro fall deeper in love with this ghost being, all while the time she's getting hounded by her art dealer for her next art exhibit. But it seems that Ro is definitely falling a little harder than she should for this being, and it's really starting to affect her productivity in her art. It definitely feels like we're leading to the climax of this story. I'm really looking forward to the next issue. Scotty Young is killing it, and George Corona's art is amazing. I rated this a 4 out of 5 this week. Well, all right, guys, we got through all 10 of those issues in just enough time. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this list that we put together for you, and if we missed any books that you were excited for, please leave us a comment down below, and if you enjoyed this video, consider smashing that like button. It really helps us out a lot. Guys, thank you all for watching again. I hope you all have a great weekend. We will see you all later this week with our next video. Have a good one, guys.